held myself to such a high standard because I think growing up, my folks held me to a standard. And my main thing that I wanted when I was growing up, and I'm just gonna put it out there and say it, is I just wanted my mom to love me. I felt like she never loved me. And I felt like it was because I was never good enough. Never good enough.
My mom passed away when I was young and 7 years old, and my dad raised me and my 3 other brothers. And it was a very macho atmosphere. If you showed any vulnerability, you were a target. You were picked on. And with 2 older brothers, they had a tendency to team up. And I was constantly told I was worthless, that I was stupid, just a waste of time. And I began to believe it.
Growing up, I was in and out of foster care. My mother was manic depressive, and I started the journey into foster care at 11. And the last 2 years of my juvenile, I was with my aunt and uncle. I'd hold back, and I wouldn't get involved with people. Through high school, I was called a nerd, a geek, a brain. So a lot of that kind of made me by the time I was 18. I did not go out with people. I stuck to myself, and I had no friends because I wouldn't allow anybody into my life.
I basically turned my back on my family due to their drinking, and I went to my school and I said I want to go to a foster home, and so I, at a very young age, became a ward of the state. For a long time, there was no contact with my family, and I just tried to dive into school and my education. I went from the group home, the foster home, to a group home, to college, dormitories, and then there I was on my own without a family or anybody, and I just thought that I knew everything and that I was just going to go forward in my life. I wanted to go to be a doctor, and then I took my first drink on spring break, my sophomore year of college. It was never with the intention of destroying my life, but that's the way it ended up.
It started out with drinking a little bit, but alcohol, and then it was meth. I discovered meth. Meth let me perform. It enabled me to perform.
Being told I was worthless and stupid by my brothers, I looked for it from everybody. I did become very violent. I mean, I figured if I'm going to be, in a sense, made to fight, because my brothers would pick on me until I would just blow up, I might as well be good at it. I mean, in most guy relationships, just friends growing up, if you disrespected me, I would hurt you. I felt that if you feared me, you had no choice but to respect me.
I suffered from depression for many years, probably 25 years. And I kind of medicated myself with alcohol, to forget about things. Over the last 5 years, my alcohol intake increased immensely. And I had lost my job. I was 49 years old. How am I going to get another job when I'm a functioning alcoholic?
I was working in the adult entertainment industry, and a big part of the use was to numb myself so I could perform there, so I could perform on stage. And then the other side of the use was I needed to be up all night at the job, but I also had a small child that I was taking care of. I completely rationalized it because I was providing for my family, and it didn't matter what I was doing as long as I was providing for my family. And as long as I wasn't failing at raising my son and pulling off life on my own, everything was okay. It didn't matter what I did. I felt like everybody around me was waiting for me to fail. And that's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want everybody to see me fall on my face and fail. I needed to be perfect.
It was very much all about me, and if I wanted it, I went and got it. If through the violence, through just the toughness persona, I was very effective. I could be very manipulative in all that and very effective at it.
I was going to divorce my husband because I figured everything that was going wrong had to be his fault. I was really good at putting the blame on everybody else. I had a hard time taking any kind of responsibility for anything because I figured I worked too hard. I had a lot of entitlement to my behavior and what I did and the things I wanted.
I had been in and out of prison for most of my 20s in different parts of the country before I had my child. And when I was in prison, I would do Bible study and really want and hope for this new life that the Lord gives us. But when I would get out, I just didn't know how to live it. I didn't know how to make friends and have relationships.
By the time I came here, I was drinking upwards of 1 liter of whiskey a day, and that was important to me. Even though I had gone through the VA hospital twice with the bleeding ulcer, I still drank, even though I knew it was killing me.
I was going to divorce my husband, but in the meantime, I had ended up borrowing my mother's car, getting really upset about something, getting wasted, and driving myself off a cliff, not on purpose, on accident, and almost killing myself.
Well, I was really depressed. I was having fits of panic attacks and some anger issues, and I got heavily medicated. And when I came in here, there was people saying that I was continually like a zombie. I came to the Union Gospel Mission because I was unemployed, I was homeless, and basically a shell of the man I used to be. Had nowhere else to go.